Hello everybody, this is Darren Redmond for Redmond's Wrap-Up, brought to you by FHT Sports. We want to say thank you, well done, and God bless you, all of our veterans, who in many different ways, shapes, and forms that many of us will never know, sacrifice so much for all of us. So thank you so much, veterans. We're here because somebody has to stand up and defend, and that is you. Want to talk right now a little bit about, and again, no accusations, no subtle backdoor implications, other than in the WSHL, the Western States Hockey League, run by Ron White. Do the laws of nepotism matter? Does it look real good when your home team in Long Beach, owned by the commissioner of the league, the WSHL? Is that a conflict of interest in any way, optically at least? I can't speak much for Chris White, never met him, but I know he is the head coach of the Long Beach Bombers. I know he is the GM of the Long Beach Bombers. I know that he's also the son of the owner, Ron White, who's also the commissioner of the WSHL. And I want to be very clear. I'm not saying anything is not on the up and up, though you hear story after story of the number of referees that are supposed to be there and things changed on a whim, trades that have been allowed. You look at the home record and you look at the record when Long Beach Bombers were on the road. It deserves some investigating. And at FHT Sports, we're not saying we're going to run an investigation, but we're going to look very closely. And that's not a fear tactic. That's not anything else. But when your team gets throttled on the road, and never loses at home, and you're owned by the commissioner of the league, one has to wonder: is it just an anomaly that happens? Or is it fear of retribution somehow? I don't know. But it's very interesting. You know, in the old days, news outlets actually investigated things like this because it matters. You're talking about a child, 16 to 20, looking to play a sport one day and go as far as they can. Child, young man, once they're 18. Everything needs to appear on the up and up. We don't allow nepotism in political office. A lot of times, if you see nepotism in corporate America, it's looked at with, some places this just doesn't allow it. Some places it's sort of looked at in a weird way. Now, understand, it could be a father in some business, but that's great. Father buys a hockey team, gives his son the position, if they earn it, of GM or coach, or even if they just do, it's their business. But then when you are in charge of the league that other teams play on, where other people who are referees or other on or off ice officials get paid by, the implication sometimes is that maybe it's not on the up and up. Now, this has nothing to do with losing 2 out of 3 in Long Beach. The Fresno Monsters typically, for example, and that's who we cover, we're here in Fresno, get off to slow starts. Did last year. And then just blew it out of the water during the second half of the season, including thrashing Long Beach at Selland Arena. So, Long Beach sitting at 10-3 right now, and Fresno sitting at 7-6. A couple games here and there. Should be an interesting rest of the season, and I'm sure that the Fresno Monster faithful will fill up Selland. But when we're looking and we cover these teams, with the Valencia Flyers coming in next week, it's just a little strange that nobody seems to publicly ask these questions without, again, throwing no stones, no accusations, no slander, no libel. But it's interesting, isn't it? That it appears that things seem to happen that way. Bad calls, things that are left out, trades that are accepted at the last minute, calls that aren't made, spearing, hearing these old stories about there being a back referee, and then when they made a call, the back referee disappeared, never had one again. Ron White, feel free to talk to us. We'd love to hear from you, give you an open forum Chris White, again, nothing specific against you, but it's a little strange that as the GM and as the coach, you're also the son of the man who owns the team, who happens to be running the WSHL, a very prestigious organization. I know we know a lot of people who want to play the WSHL, and we want it to grow. It's our hockey league out here. But it's a little interesting. Where does the line of nepotism stop and finish? It's an interesting question. What do you think? Let us know. Darren Redmond here at FHT Sports, where we actually report on sports. What do you think? So let us know. Like, subscribe, share our content. We'll be reporting a lot on the Fresno Monster season. So look for these vlogs, look for these follow-ups, and we'd love your interaction. So what's the deal, Ron White, Chris White? Fresno Monsters sit at second place right now. Valencia Flyers coming up next week. What are your thoughts? There'll be a Fresno State football game going on, but we'll be at the hockey game. We hope to see you at a sold-out Selling Arena. This is Darren Redmond from FHT Sports.